shadows fall and trees whisper day is ending, my thoughts are ever wending home. When crickets call, my heart is forever yearning once more to be returning home. When the hills conceal the setting sun, stars begin a-peeping one by one. Night covers all, and though fortune may forsake me, sweet dreams will ever take me home.
Thank you for joining me on my very first episode of A Sunday Edition. This is Mornings with Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy. My purpose of Sunday morning show is to premiere my latest videos creations, as well as put a spotlight on some of my past videos. Today on our show, we'll take another look at my first video in a docuseries called Elsinore Brothers. Next, we'll get a first look at a few other episodic segments in their first appearance on my channel. photos with my photos from my wife's phone is a peek into what my wife sees through her camera's eye. Out Buying Records and Stuff is a series that follows the exploits of a man who can't say no to great deals on his favorite vinyl records and bits of the past. And last, we'll examine a piece of American history through the eye of my father's camera during the Vietnam War. When I first thought of creating videos, my overall purpose was to leave my daughter a way for her to continue to get to know me long after I was gone, whenever that might be. So of course, I wanted to make a short video to give people an idea of who I am and why I am who I am. So let me bring up that video for you, and without further ado, here is a docuseries called Elsinore Brothers.
Los Angeles, California, 1968. While Hey Jude plays on the radio, America will see its most tumultuous year. And with 78 million of 200 million Americans owning television sets, much of it will unfold right in front of their eyes. With commercials, of course. Many will tune in to see the detectives and officers of Dragnet trying to reassure us that they have everything well under control, while Laugh-In reminds us that it's not true, in fact far from it, but that it's okay to laugh anyway. Even in space things aren't going so well, with protests reaching all the way to the Apollo 7 space capsule. It seems bad food, bad helmets, and bad facilities make for a bad moon trip, taking NASA to another all-time low in morale with the first ever space mutiny. In stark contrast, however, Apollo 8 will successfully achieve the first manned orbit of the moon. Barbarella hits theaters, and Jane Fonda shows us more than her political views, eventually switching causes from the Black Panthers and the American Indian movement to protesting the war, later earning her nickname Hanoi Jane. Planet of the Apes, on the other hand, gives us a good look at the human race through the imaginative eyes of Pierre Boulle's novel and Rod Serling's screenplay adaptation. They blew it all to hell indeed. Clad in black leather, Elvis would make a comeback. And while leading the cause, two equal rights heroes would be taken from us. The death of Dr. King by the gun of a madman will send the country into such a turmoil that it will cause no less than 110 U.S. cities to fall victim to riots. And although the movement would eventually lead to the ratification of the 14th Amendment, it would not save yet another Kennedy from assassination, this time right here in California. Out of the 58,200 total U.S. deaths in the Vietnam War, 1968 rages on with the beginning of the Tet Offensive and gives us the bloodiest death toll of the war, with 16,899 U.S. soldiers lost that year. And then Nixon was elected. But not all is bad this leap year. Thanks to Phil Jurgensen, the prototype is born. Oh yeah, and I'm born that year too. In August, I joined my brother Robert and our parents Misty and Dale. 2 years later, little sister Brandy comes along and completes the family. We roam around for a while as the young old man gets used to civilian life again, eventually making our way east of LA to the counterculture hippie lifestyle in the Sierra Madre Canyon. The small mountain cabin soon becomes the place to be. People are always stopping by for a good time, and my parents are almost always happy to oblige them, for a price, that is. Many of my first memories are made here. first favorite songs, first happy times, first sad times, my first thoughts about what it is to be me. I love this canyon. It feels like a warm hug on a rainy day. It's a safe, friendly place to live. But things will change. During the early 1970s, my father attends Pasadena City College, seeking a degree in communications. He is also working at the college radio station when the siege at Wounded Knee occurs. Being of native blood himself, he knows he must do something to help the cause. This really was a pivotal time in our family, and it does deserve its own episode. So, for now, let me just say that with a lot of help and twice as much luck, we made it to Wounded Knee, and my father did get in and out. But that was the easy part. The most significant thing to come from this experience begins happening shortly after we return home to the canyon. And once things began to unravel, our lives would never be the same. And eventually, we would have to leave the warm embrace of our loving hippie community and spend most of the next 12 years on the road. For a couple of years, we just bounced around Southern California, waiting for my father to get his Associate of Arts degree, as well as his radio broadcast certification. From Rosarita Beach, Mexico, to Lake Havasu, Arizona, we traveled. Malibu Beach, Ontario, even Lake Elsinore, California briefly, where we attended Machado Avenue Elementary School for our 1975-76 school year. Robert and I played baseball, and we both were in the Scouts for the duration. We even marched in the Bicentennial Parade. But soon, we were back on the road again. Fallbrook, Temecula, back to the reservation, Murietta, even Hollywood, among other places. It was an adventurous road, but it was a road that would eventually lead us back to Elsinore, and the best decade of my life. For me, returning to Elsinore didn't start off so well, but after a while, I would actually start to make friends. I would meet people whose memory would last my lifetime. With my family of friends, I would go places, do things, see things that I never would have thought possible. Searching for myself, I would go from long hair to short hair and back to long, and while I never would really find myself, I would find friends and memories that would always live in my heart. The 80s were, well, the 80s, and like most decades, special unto itself. I can't and won't try to tell anyone that my decade was the best. It was for me, and I will always live there. But just like a rainstorm, it was gone. The 90s were different. Not so different that I went into shock. Well, almost. I kept searching but never did find myself. I watched my family grow and get families of their own. I moved to Arizona and went to school, but the government closed that school down. So I went to another school, but I didn't much like it, so I switched to another school, but didn't really fit in there either. So I returned to California and caught up with some friends in Mammoth. I worked on the mountain and at painting, but once again, I didn't fit in, and like the blood in my veins, I had to keep moving. By the end of that decade, I had relocated back to Southern California. I got a great new job and a new car. And after years of searching, I finally found that someone who makes me happy. And we get married. We get through some rough spots, but we soon get our wish. Our daughter Natalie is born. We spend several years living and working in northern Nevada, but destiny would lead us back to California. But this story isn't really about the present. It's about the past.
Past, 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 past. Well, wasn't that cute? Well, I look forward to more in this series about me, but also about people and the events that shaped who I eventually became. That's just a great little peek at my existence there. I really like that. My next ongoing video series developed as I was shuffling files around in my computer and noticed a pattern in the files' names. Photos from my wife's phone appeared more than once in various phrasings, but after looking through the files, the message was clear. She can really take a picture. And without further ado, that series. my goodness, those dogs are so cute. Oh, they just tear me up every time I watch that. All right. Well, you can watch all of these video segments in a playlist on my channel somewhere. Anytime in the next week they'll be uploaded for your entertainment. So be sure to check that out. It seems I have endless supplies of photos from my wife's phone. Do you ever get the stink eye from your significant other when you come home yet again with another bit of useless junk from the past? I'm guilty. I see the past, this junk is history. So this is a regular occurrence in my life. It feels like everywhere I go I'm tasked with saving pieces of the past from our local landfills. Of course, my wife says, let it go there. We don't have room for it. Just let it go. So I just find another spot on a shelf and add it to my collection. This is a video series dedicated to that addiction. I got a real bad vintage Jones, man. Really, really bad. And I'm going to share that Jones with you in a series I like to call Out Buying Records and Stuff.
Crazy old weird bearded guy, out buying records and stuff. Crazy old weird bearded guy, doesn't know if he's bought enough. He likes to buy whatever he sees. He wants to bring home whatever he please. So you better look out, he's headed back to the vintage store. So if you wanna come along, he's headed back to 1984.
Well, once again, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you stopping by unannounced, because I got a surprise for you. Today we're going to take a trip back in time to most iconic record stores. While I was out, I happened to come upon an old friend. Yes, Tower Records people. You won't believe how hard it was to find this on my time dial. Extremely difficult. Let's set this aside for a moment and let's talk a little bit about Tower Records. All right, everyone. So we've set the Wayback Machine for 1960, where a man by the name of Russell Solomon is working in his father's pharmacy. It's just a drugstore in Sacramento. It's the Tower Drugstore. It has that name because it shares the same name as the Tower Theater in the same building. And so he opens up a little booth inside of his father's store, and he just sells, little records, 45s and stuff, because he sees there's a demand for people wanting music. So he opens this little stand in his father's store, and he operates this throughout Sacramento in a couple of locations. Finally, in the early 70s, he opened up Tower Book posters and plants, eventually leading him to open in 1971, opening a store in Hollywood, which a lot of Southern California people would like to imagine that is the first Tower Records, if not the pinnacle Tower Records. Its location drew everyone. A lot of big names came to that store to buy records. On Sunset Boulevard. Now, when he originally opened his first store in Sacramento, his first Tower Records, he was very innovative in his hiring techniques. He hired a lot of very unusual and eclectic people to operate his stores on their own terms. They could decide when they show up, when they leave, what the store hours were. He pretty much left it upon
the staff to run the staff, which was very unusual at the time. He didn't require a dress code. He didn't require a lot of rules and regulations from his staff. And that led to a lot of unusual activity in the stores, to say the least. He decided to open up a store in Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard. And he used his staff to actually contract and subcontract the construction of the building. They shared in the labor. So the employees helped to build the store on Sunset Boulevard. Unfortunately, all good things come to an end. And as popular and as famous as Tower Records was throughout the world, in 2006, they filed Chapter 1 bankruptcy. Tower Records had failed. And at some point in 2006, all of their assets were liquidated, including the Sunset Boulevard store. Now, when I was a child, we spent a lot of time in Hollywood, in and around the area. We lived in and around the Hollywood area. My parents spent a lot of time there working and socializing. So it was not uncommon for us to be hanging out on Hollywood Boulevard, on Sunset Strip, and we didn't always get to go in the store, but I remember a lot sitting and waiting to see what goodies were going to come out. It's a big memory in my life, Tower Records, and I'm happy to share some Tower Records experience with you today. So let's see what we got. I always loved their logo and their signage, especially on the building itself. It was just, eye-popping. It was one of those things that sticks out from your childhood that you never forget. So what do we have in the bag here today? Let me put the bag down and we'll pull out the first goodie. And what we have today is Rockarola by Judas Priest. Fantastic album. Okay, this is their debut studio album from September 6, 1974. So this would have been sitting in Tower Records in 1974 in the new music, or British music, British invasion music here. And this came to us from Gull Records, produced by Roger Bain, with a DG, not just a G. He was the producer of Black Sabbath's first 3 albums. This is the only album featuring jazz drummer John Hinch. And a funny thing about John Hinch is he was not only the drummer for the band during this album, but he was also the driver and the road manager, right? And not only did he leave Judas Priest, but he eventually found a career in musical management. But yeah, he played with them during their during this album, and then he was replaced by Alan Skip Moore, who was their original Road Days drummer. So this is just a great record. I fell in love with Judas Priest before this, but once I heard this became one of my favorite Judas Priest records. Now, it's actually considered to be hard rock or blues rock, right? It doesn't even feel like heavy metal at this point. And this was the original cover for this LP, and eventually it was changed to something not resembling Coca-Cola. So interestingly enough, when they had to change the cover of this because it resembled Coca-Cola, they added another song, a Joan Baez cover, Diamonds and Rust, which wasn't on this original version that I have. This is the 1974 version. And it's got songs like One for the Road, Rock-a-Rolla, Winter, Deep Freeze, Winter Retreat, Cheater, Never Satisfied, Dying to Meet You, Hero Hero, and Caviar and Meths. I wonder what caviar and meths mean. I'll have to pay attention to the lyrics. But yay for Rock-a-Rolla, Judas Priest. Thank you so much. So next, in the bag of tricks here from Tower Records, we have Doobie Brothers, The Best Of, Volume 2. Now, this is an album released in 1981. 10 songs were previously released from singles and albums before 1981. And the great thing about this one is it's really Michael McDonald heavy. It's got a lot of his songs on there. Now this Doobie Brothers album only peaked at number 39 on the Billboard charts. Kind of weird. It's got a lot of great stuff on it, so it's kind of unusual that it didn't get a lot of positive feedback. It's got songs like What a Fool Believes, You Belong to Me, Minute by Minute. It really is a good album to have in your collection. Let's see what else we got in the bag of tricks from Tower Records. Let's see. Ooh, since we're time traveling, we can go back and look at a Betamax. This is Sugarland Express from 1974. This is Steven Spielberg's theatrical debut. This was preceded by the made-for-TV movie Duel in 1971 with Dennis Weaver. And this is just before he made Jaws. This movie stars Goldie Hawn, and she had just come off Cactus Flower, where she got a Best Supporting Oscar. Awesome, huh? She's an amazing wonder, right? It also stars an unusual guy, William Atherton. You best know him for the guy taking a punch to the face by the wife of the star in Die Hard. You remember that? It also stars Ben Johnson, who we remember from the Sackets, and of course Red Dawn. I've got some family heirlooms I want to leave with you. No. And this is a fantastic movie about kind of a hillbilly couple who is off to get their little son back. And because he's been put in a foster home, they're going to have to steal him, right? And on the way, they run amok, take a sheriff hostage, and just get into all kinds of nonsense. And Ben Johnson pursues. Fantastic movie. We're going to have to stick this in the Betamax and check it out. Okay. Once again, we're time traveling, so we have an 8-track cartridge here. This is the Average White Band Soul Searching. All right. This was released in the summer of 1976. This is their 4th album release. They're a Scottish band, and this particular LP, or 8-track if you will, follows the 1975 hit Cut the Cake that just had some awesome hits on it. I'm not familiar with this, so I'm going to really enjoy looking into it. It reached number 9 on the U.S. charts, right? And the title track only reached number 40. But I look forward to checking this one out. And let's see, last but not least, from Tower Records, we have Seals and Crofts Get Closer. Now this is their 8th release, brought to us again in 1976. This reached number 6 on the charts, and number 2 on the adult contemporary charts. Released by Warner Brothers as soft rock. This follows I'll Play For You from 1975. It's got 8 tracks on it.
and it features, of course, James Seals and Dash Crofts. Dash Crofts, what a name. And it highlights Ray Parker Jr. And if you know Ray Parker Jr., then you know that he's famous for the Ghostbusters theme in 1984. So this one will be a blast to listen to. And last but not least, I have one cool item that I brought back from my time trip. And if you would like to have this Tower Records bagged, all you got to do is leave a comment in today's show and just say Tower Records. The first one to do that, I'll get in touch with you and I'll stick this right in the mail for you. All right? Isn't that a cool bag? Wouldn't that be neat framed or hung on a wall? Right? Doesn't that just evoke so many memories? Okay, people, it's time for me to jump into my phone booth and hit the road. I want to thank you for stopping by. If I can do anything for you in the future, please don't bother trying to find me because I'm in the past. Stay tuned for our next time trip when we go out looking for records and stuff, because you never know what we'll find. Thank you for visiting, and I'll see you in the past. Bye. Are you still here? Go on! No, really. Nobody go no place. That was a fun show to create. I look forward to creating more of those. I go to a lot of record stores and bring home a lot of records and stuff. So that's gonna be a hoot down the road. Let's see, last this morning, we're going back in time to Vietnam with slides taken by my father in 1967. So, without further ado, this is the last show for today. And let me just load this up again here. There's no lead on this, so we're going to go right into the video.
down in a hollow, playing a new game, laughing and running, hey, hey, skipping and jumping in the misty morning falling. Ah, our hearts are dumping you, a brown-eyed girl. And do my brown-eyed girl. And whatever happened to Tuesday so slow, going down in your mind, a transistor radio, standing in the sun laughing, high behind the rainbow's wall, slipping and sliding, yeah, all along the waterfall with you, a brown-eyed girl. And you're my brown-eyed girl. And do you remember when we used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-ta-ta, just like that. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-ta-ta, la-ti-da. Just the other day, and you have grown. I cast my love back there, Lord. Sometime more, come think about it. Making love in the green grass behind the stadium with you, a brown-eyed girl. You're my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-ta-da, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-ta-da, oh yeah, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-ta-da, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Yesterday don't matter if it's gone. While the sun's bright, or in the darkest night, no one knows. She comes and goes
And there you have that. I just would like to say thank you to my father. And like my daughter, at every concert that she attends, after I complete a video, I inevitably cry upon viewing its final edited version. And this one is no different. Like most of these videos this morning, I've surprised myself with how emotionally involved I've become with it, and how much it means to me. I want to thank my friend David for providing some soundtrack to set the mood. I grew up on that music, as did my daughter. I grew up on those slides and my father's stories of Vietnam. And to this day, those slides still affect me so. Before we go this morning, I would like to take a look forward to see what's happening this week on Mornings with Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy. So let's have a look at some upcoming programming. And there's that. I enjoy creating these little videos, and as I do enjoy everything I do on my channel. If I didn't, I wouldn't be doing it. I've had a wonderful morning. Please tune in again the next time we do our Sunday show. We are going to leave this morning with our end credits, and I'm going to play a song after that to take us home. So thank you very, very much for stopping by. I want to ask you please to stop by tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. and stop by tomorrow night at 5 p.m. for our inaugural episode of Nighttime Nonsense and Nostalgia. That should be fun. Okay, people. Goodbye. Stay weird. Love you all. Well, good morning again, everyone. Hey, here we are. I guess this is the after show. We just did our first episode of Mornings with Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy, a Sunday edition. It looks like Invised is here, and Invised has gotten here at the end of the show. I please hope that you'll go back and watch it in a rerun. But this show is pretty much dedicated to just bringing you the premieres of my videos. So you're going to see the videos here first, and then you're going to see them in playlists on my channel. So there you go. I hope you enjoy the music that I've chosen. If you do enjoy the music, please stop by at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday, as I will be bringing you an hour of nonsense and nostalgia nightly. For 1 hour, pardon me, for 1 hour, I'll be doing this every night, Monday through Friday. So that should be fun as well. Yeah, so how's it going there, Invised? What's been up in your end of the world over there? I've been up all night putting my show together here, and I'm ready to go take a nap before I go to work. Yeah, this has been fun. Please let me know how my video and my sound is doing. It looks like everything is going along smoothly. I did spend a lot of time over the last week working with technical assistants on various platforms to bring you today's show. And I hope things are going along well. I sure am enjoying how it looks to me on YouTube. I've got it popped up on various screens in my studio here, and the sound and picture to me looks better than it's ever been. But you all will have to tell me that. I can't speak to everyone around the world here, but from my end of things, I'm feeling pretty good about it. So it is 6 in the a.m. and this has been the Mornings with Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy, a Sunday edition, and I am going to be tuning in, turning on, and dropping out, as they say, as it were. I will be taking my leave this morning. This is a 1-hour program, and it will highlight my videos produced over the week or two in between Sunday episodes. I will bring you a Sunday episode when I have a whole gob of material to show you, like this morning. My 4 videos were really fun to create, and they took me way back. Okay, so I am going to get out of here, and I am going to leave you with my theme song for my nighttime nonsense and nostalgia program. So I hope you will enjoy this. And well, there he is. There's Benny. All right, people. Thank you for stopping by once again. This has been a Sunday edition of Mornings with Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy. I want to thank my daughter for staying up last night and helping me work out the bugs in my script, in my video, in my segment segues, and everything. She is officially my co-producer and will stand out in my credits here pretty soon. So thank y'all. Y'all take care, and I will see you on the flip-flop. That means tomorrow morning, people. Tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. I shall be back. And I will see you then, and I will see you tomorrow night at 5 when we highlight this song as my theme for nighttime nonsense and nostalgia. This concludes our broadcasting for today. Go home, weirdos.